I said to my husband, if I had to birth in the hospital again for my second, I don't think I'd ever want another child, because it was very, very traumatic for me. I honestly never thought that I'd have a free birth. If you spoke to me before I had my first, I'd probably tell you I have no idea what a free birth is. I didn't even know you can even birth at home. Giving birth to my first was what started on this journey of getting to know myself, healing, unlearning and relearning things that I never thought I needed. I had to deal with a lot of my fears, my hurts from the first. I did a birth trauma debrief, realised that there was a lot of things that happened in my first birth that didn't need to happen. And that was when we started to plan a home birth. I learned so much about what women are able to do and the power that I needed to take back. I started to understand I was created by God to birth naturally, without intervention. There was a lot of doubters, a lot of naysayers, a lot of fear around FBAC. And we felt Holy Spirit remind us of the wall of Jericho, where we needed to keep quiet. I remember one of the things that I felt so strongly when a couple of my friends were just starting to worry. This is not the time to settle other people's fears. It is my time to settle my own fears. So there was only a handful of people who knew about what we were planning around the birth. We didn't want anyone's opinion to hinder us, because at that time I was still working through my people-pleasing addiction. I remember at the end of the first birth, one of the midwives came to me and said, "You are the nicest mum that we've ever dealt with." And at that time, I took it as a compliment. But now looking back, it was so detrimental to my birth, because I was stalling my labour, trying to please everybody else. I didn't want everyone else to think that I was horrible. I couldn't even squeeze my husband's hands because I was so worried that at the end of it, what would the aftermath be? What would the consequences be? Would I end up hurting him? Around the 23-week mark, I was saying to my friends, I have a feeling that this baby was going to come early, around 38 weeks. But then I just didn't listen to my instincts. But sure enough, at 37 plus 5, my waters broke. I called my birth keeper and I said, hey, my waters are trickling and it's earlier than I expected. And she's like, just go to bed, get some rest, and use this time to get as much rest as you can, because you know baby is now coming. There's all this fear around, oh, what if you get an infection? We're taught just be sensible, don't put anything up there, don't take a bath, don't have intercourse during this time, don't do anything that will risk infection. And so that's what we did. The first night I was like, okay, baby could come, so let's go to bed early. Went to bed early. Nothing happened, no contractions. There was so many things not ready, because we thought we had another 2 weeks. We didn't have a name, the clothes weren't ready, the house wasn't fully ready. And so I had a sense that once everything was ready, it was go time. Exactly 48 hours after my waters broke, I started to have contractions. My husband was telling me maybe we should get up, because I was labouring in bed and it was starting to get really intense. Luckily, we saw a video that we could actually do different positions with the peanut ball, which was a godsend for me. The labour started at around 10:45, and by the time it all ended, it was exactly 6 hours later at 4:45 a.m. And it was a miracle that my son slept through the whole thing, because I have never been that loud in my entire life. By the time my son woke up, I was being tucked in bed. He ended up coming into the room and just wondering what just happened. He was a little bit annoyed because he really wanted to be part of the labour, because we were doing so much prep work beforehand, watching home birth videos, water births, just to prep him in case he was awake and I was labouring. For my birth keeper to be able to offer my son the experience of cutting the cord, It was so beautiful for me, and I wish I captured it on camera. When my birth keeper came, and I was so thankful for her. My husband sat with me through all the appointments with our birth keeper so that he could understand what he needed to do. She helped to clean up the aftermath. I remember her coming in and just congratulating me, and I just felt empowered to talk to her through all the questions and concerns that we have, and to know that I actually do have the ability to birth on my own terms. When baby was born, we were able to just sit in awe and in wonder of what God had done and the redemption that we had. No chaos, no interventions, no drama, none of the fear surrounding the births, and no one there to say that we are failing to progress, that I'm getting tired, or baby is getting tired, or baby is in distress. Just being able to enjoy the moment instead of being interrupted by so many different people and all these procedures. It was just such an intimate time for us. So I was really thankful that I wasn't under that stress and that pressure. And it still surprises me now. Like, I pinch myself to think I didn't have any gas, I didn't need to be medicated, I didn't need any sort of intervention. I knew within myself that I could do it. That made the biggest difference to me, having a successful VBAC. I see all these videos of these women just graciously breathing through it and not making a sound, and I asked the Holy Spirit, why didn't I have that? As beautiful as that would have been, I just felt deeply that it wasn't what I needed, because growing up in abuse, I had no voice. I wasn't allowed a voice, and I felt in that moment, Holy Spirit said, it wasn't what I wanted for you, because you were silenced your whole life. I wanted you to find your voice through this. There's a saying that when a woman births, you don't just birth a baby, you birth a new woman. And I really felt that deep within me.
What do you want to say to your daughter in the future?
Don't make me think.